coming to your, I was reading up about your hobbies and so on. And I think agriculture was one thing that caught my eye. So will you tell me something about that?
Basically, when we came here, at one point of time, we had some land here and there in Trivandrum itself. And we felt that, a lot of land is being unused. And in the friend circle, we used to talk a lot about, how this land bank is not used and things like that. And one fine day, somebody asked me, so do you have any land? I said, yes, I also form part of the land bank. Are you doing anything with it? No. If you're not doing anything with it, then why are you, arguing so much about this and, telling people what to do? I thought, yeah, that is true. So basically, we went out and contacted the local Krishi Bhavan, which is, I think, in Paudikonam or something like that, near to the place where we stay. We checked with the local agricultural officer, who advised, actually, when somebody goes from Technopark and says that I'm a computer engineer and I would like to, do something in my land, you will not believe the amount of support that you will get from an agricultural officer. They will call me every once in a while saying that there is this new scheme from the government for plantains or, tapioca and things like that. That is when we started, putting a little bit of money and effort into agriculture. And now we pretty much cultivate our vegetables within our family and try and get
really
it,
interesting.
So that is something that we do, yeah.
Okay. And your family, a little bit about your family?
Yes, my wife is working in Technopark itself. Her name is Sindhu Pillai, and she's working in Alamy Images. It's a stock photography company based out of Gayatri. I have two kids. The elder one is a son. He goes to Loyola School, 4th standard. His name is Dev Nandan. The second one is a daughter, Shivani. She goes to a play school called Wonder Years based out of Homewood, and we are settled near the engineering college in Javadi.
Okay. The lives of IT professionals is something that we from the outside look at with a lot of curiosity and awe, especially in units like yours where both are working IT professionals and you have young kids. How do you people manage?
I guess, it's all a matter of taking people into confidence, if it is between husband and wife. So the husband spends 8 or 9 hours in the office, wife spends 8 or 9 hours in the office. There is a tendency that, you are actually getting close to your colleagues more than your family. That is the psychologist's perspective. But I guess, if both husband and wife is working in Technopark, there are ample opportunities wherein you could find quality time within yourself. In our case, what we have done wisely is build a home here near to Technopark.
So you cut down on your traveling time.
One thing, we go home for lunch, so that is quality time that we spend together.
I think that's a huge luxury.
Absolutely, we go home for lunch, we can get out at 9 o'clock and reach office by 9:05, 9:50. So those are things that you should plan a little bit. Don't go and stay in the suburbs
other end of the city,
other end of the city and try to commute 1 hour, because again you're wasting time in the car in that process. So just plan your life a little bit wherein you can make use of whatever little time that you're getting in between together and make fun. I guess it's the same case with every profession. It is going to be the same for the doctors, it's going to be the same for the lawyers, unless I see teaching as a profession where you could start out at 9 o'clock in the morning and come back at 4 and teach your kids. But every other profession has got its own challenges, and it's only a matter of how you want to work with it.
What kind of people can build careers in Technopark? Do you have to be a software engineer, or do you necessarily have to be a MBA? What are the options available here?
Well, that is, what you just said is often the misconcept that is there, deep-rooted in people's minds. People think that it's a park of engineers, it's a park of managers or MBAs, which is not at all true. You would be, surprised to hear that there are veterinary doctors working here in a company, an insurance company, working out the premiums of pets in
the US,
in the UK or US, yes. There are dental doctors who work in companies who is helping out with the medical transcription. There are statisticians, biostatisticians working in my company, helping the development of new drugs. There are civil engineers working here, designing structural structures, huge structures like the Petromar structure and things of that sort. So you can't really put a basic qualification as a BTech in some discipline or an MBA in some discipline. No.
Okay.
What you really need is an analytical mind, a logical mind, plus an aptitude to put your education into application.
Right.
You can't come to Technopark and expect a monotonous job wherein you'll be looking at files or writing notes and things like that. You really have to put your mind at work. You have to think about what you're doing and provide solutions in that process.
So if I wanted to be an entrepreneur, what would be the opportunities available here in terms of funding and so on? Because you said your friends, you had good friends, but
what I would like to tell the youngsters of Kerala is that you live in fortunate times. 8 years back, if I needed to raise 25 lakhs, I would have to take my reputation or put my reputation on the table and say that, believe me, I have this idea and I'll make it work. Now, government by itself and private seed funds have greatly come across to support the new innovations and ideas in any field for that matter. Two specific things that I want to talk about here. There is a Technopark Business Incubation Center that runs based out of Technopark, who has got associations with the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and TEP, Technology Entrepreneurial Promotion Program. They are all combined together into one cell in Park Center, and you can go to the Technopark website and find the details of that. If you have an idea that you know will change the world, and you want money to implement a prototype, there are several levels of funding that Technopark Business Incubation provides. And they will help you in marketing this thing, help you with the business plans, help you get international collaborations with various universities and industrial associations and things of that sort. All this will be taken care of, provided you have a good idea. Second thing is, there is a startup village that is coming up in Cochin, and they want to build an ecosystem where any college student who have an idea and who want to implement it, they will provide the ecosystem, which includes funding, office space, any other support, marketing support that is required. They will support you in that front.
Do you have a role model or one person who's inspired you a lot?
I guess I wouldn't say one person. I would say it's my parents who has inspired my life. My father is a lecturer from a local polytechnic in Pandala. I would say ours was upper middle class family with one income, and my mother was a housewife who was actually the daughter of a businessman in Trivandrum. So I guess you can attribute the genes a little bit to that, but they both never restricted our ambitions. They always taught us, both me and my brother, to dream big. One lesson that we consistently used to get from our parents is, don't limit your ambitions. Don't put a full stop to your ambitions at any point of time. Don't be content. Don't get into the comfort zone. Okay, so you have completed your. My parents were so adamant that I complete my education. I go for higher education and don't go for a job. They tried telling me several times, don't go for a job. You complete your education first, which is a decision that I felt was stupid at that time when they told me. But later in my life, I do realize that it's something that would have helped me greatly in pursuing a scientific career or a scientific enterprise. So basically, within the limitations that they had, they both stayed in a small village in near Pandala, where the schooling, I wouldn't say is a state of the art or anything like that. There was no TV, no internet at that point of time. So the exposure is what you see with the little magazines that you find in the libraries or the newspapers and things of that sort. But I sometimes wondered how they could dream big, how they kind of knew that we will do this all, and also when I was about to start an enterprise, oftentimes parents will be very skeptical about that, very skeptical about
Right.
that. You're leaving a cushy job, you have a family to look after, why do you want to leave that and take such a big risk when, you know, you're only 30 years old, you know. So that was one thing that I saw different in my parents, you know. They weren't very, they didn't like, you know, like many people, they didn't understand the concept of venture capital.
Right.
For people or parents who are listening to this, I would like to say there is a concept called venture capital, wherein, you know, Meera will put in money for my enterprise and take profits only if the company will become profit making. If the company dies down in that process, we both lose our effort and money, and there are no strings attached, there is no debt attached to it. So I tried telling my parents that there is a thing called venture capital. There are 4 of my friends who are willing to put money into this thing, and they don't expect anything in return, but they are just doing this for the goodwill. It is something that took time for them to digest, but eventually they were able to understand that such a thing existed. And I give full credit to them, being in this you know, small village and not being exposed to, you know, the US markets or the UK markets or anything like that. They were still able to fathom that. And if they had said a clear no, you should not do this,
You would have hesitated.
well, it will be a lot of hesitation from my part, and that goes to my wife also actually. She actually was not working until I started the company. She took up a job just to support me in this entire process.
Okay.
And you know, she did not even doubt it once that we will know. She has doubted many of my other ventures.
We have a small rapid fire round.
Wow. Okay.
Quick, honest answers to quick questions. Okay. Right. Set.
Yeah.
Okay. One word that best describes you.
Honesty.
What would set your pulse racing?
My wife.
The food that would break your strictest diet.
Pasta.
What gives you the most happiness at work?
Seeing my employees perform beyond the expectations of the clients.
Your birthday.
21st May 1974.
What turns you off?
Dishonesty.
My world. What does that bring to your mind?
Family.
Your favorite holiday destination.
Switzerland.
Your wife's favorite color.
Black.
Food.
Chinese.
Attire.
Modern.
Hobby.
Music.
It's been a pleasure having you on our show.
That is all mine.
This is a small token of appreciation
Thank you.
from us with
See
love.
your, with love. Let's
And this
talk
is,
prosper.
yeah, and this is for your wife.
Thank you very much. She's going
Yeah.
to be very pleased.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
But that didn't interest me, you know. I thought when we started something, we wanted it to become big, we wanted it to become known, we wanted our products to go all over the world and things like that. Kerala, in fact, is better suited for certain kinds of manufacturing than any other part of India. Commitment, I think, is the biggest quality, because then the rest of the team will not lose heart. Otherwise, the team will lose heart.